I love this game. That should be no surprise since I say that a lot in most of my videos. I even made an entire video on the topic of death in Majora's Mask and what I thought of it, but now it's time to give you a review. A very quick review. The first thing you have to bring up is the style of the game. It looks just like Ocarina of Time. I mean, hell, it even has the same characters, but even with that, this game is nothing like its previous game. It's so much darker. I mean, look at the use of purple in that title screen. Look at that moon just staring down at you, and that mask. It still gives me nightmares. Twilight Princess would try to replicate this years later and would fail. My problem with that game is that you can tell the game is trying too hard to be dark and try to please the fans that weren't too happy with the Wind Waker, and it has no colors. Why? You can tell Majora's Mask's priority wasn't to make the game dark, it just happened to be dark. It's a nice balance. Majora's Mask characters are possibly the best in the series. With each character you learn so much about them. You see them at their strongest points and you see them at their lowest points. They do such a good job of making you feel bad for these characters and wanting you to do your best to prevent that moon from crashing into Termina. My favorite characters are Crimea and Romani. Romani because she's just so cute around Link with giving him the nickname Grasshopper and trusting him to do a special task for her. And Crimea because if you pay attention to a lot of the dialogue, you end up learning a lot about her. This is what makes this game have the best side quests in the whole series. With each one you learn so much about all the characters and their motivations for what they do and their backstories. The main quests also have this effect. Watching characters die and then get their masks is made so much more powerful when in the last moments of their life you see what they were like and how others treated them. When wearing their mask and going to go talk to people, they talk to you as if you were that person, not aware of their fate. It's a sad thought, but the game tackles these topics very well. The dungeons are very well designed in my opinion. There are only 4, so they better all be good. All the dungeons use the bow. In the first one you get the bow and arrows, and the others give you the upgrades for those arrows. The second dungeon, which revolves around snow and ice, gives you the fire arrows to melt any ice. And the water temple gives you the ice arrows for you to freeze the water and make platforms. This strange approach actually works. This also doesn't steer away from the other focus of the game, the masks. The dungeons really only focus on the arrows and whatever mask you received before entering that dungeon. This may sound like the dungeons are simplified to an extent, but this makes the dungeons even more memorable since it shows that the designers really had to get creative with the puzzles. And just like Ocarina of Time, it's really easy to get your hands on this game now that we have the 3DS remake. This makes the game even better. They fixed the issue of game saving and the added bottom screen really makes item management so much better. Just like A Link Between Worlds, I have no problems with this game. I could sit here forever and play this game forever and find no problems. This game is beyond polished. Again, if you have not played this game, play it now. I will even send you a copy. Everyone needs to play this game.